committed by Israel, where adults and children are being assassinated in cold blood when they're seeking food and humanitarian assistance. What more does the EU need to suspend the association agreement with Israel? What more do you need? What more assessment or external opinion or anything else do you need to point the finger of responsibility at those who are committing these horrors in Gaza and have been doing so for so long? What else do we need to end the association agreement? Dear fellow member, I assume you're addressing the European Commission rather than myself. I myself support the suspension of that agreement following a proposal made by Council to the Commission. So when I was referring to assessments, I was referring to that process, and I think it's taken too long already.
Ms. Insier is next.
Gaza, la Palestine, le Moyen-Orient.
Gaza, Palestine and Middle East. For 21 months we've been discussing these places here. We've been talking about evidence of a genocide which is underway, evidence of apartheid, ethnic cleansing. We've identified all of that, but what have we done? I talk about starving children, destroyed hospitals, people being killed while bread is being handed out. I normally talk about all of that. Today I'd like to talk about us in Europe, a mirror of our impotence. Following Trump's interference, we're seeing attacks in these countries that are not allowing us to, in Greece, France, Italy, not arresting Netanyahu, not actually acting. We could have allies globally. We have international law on our side. We could stop Netanyahu and his murderous actions. We need to wake up. I say this to Ms. Callas, I say this to my friends in the EPP. Wake up. Security and sovereignty are easy to say, but you can't have one without the other, and history will judge you.
Thank you, Madam President. 21 months of ethnic cleansing. While in Gaza you're seeing the rubble still smoking, it's not just bombs that are killing people, it's actually systematic famine. Those trying to get aid are being shot, they're being targeted. This is a policy of destruction, completely inhumane. This camp is meant to be humanitarian, but actually it's just a place to transport people. The idea is to wipe Palestine off the map. They want a greater Israel and are worsening the situation in the whole Middle East. In Germany, they're crocodile tears, but they're providing weapons. They're talking about using narratives that legitimize this, and Israel is actually doing our dirty work. The idea is that the whole objective of the new order in the Middle East is what they're talking about, but this order is being built on sand. Get your hands off the Middle East.
Thanks.
President, ladies and gentlemen, at least 1,000, that's the number of victims in Gaza since the 26th of June. The last time the Commission discussed this conflict. So thousands of lives, many of them women and children, thousands and thousands of lives which are still in the balance because of famine, because the Netanyahu regime is organizing and orchestrating that famine. And there's a report being drawn up that's too late for us to bring pressure to bear to stop the association agreement, and nothing came of this. So a letter from the heads of state and government to ask them to allow humanitarian aid. And one day later, Netanyahu stopped the admission of aid in North Gaza. The lack of power from Europe is shameful. It's undefensible. How long, Commission, is this going to go on? Another 1,000 deaths, maybe 2,000?
Dear colleagues, every day in Gaza and across Palestine, people are injured, killed, displaced. Land is stolen, humanity denied, life suppressed. How did we get to this point? And what is our responsibility? This is not just a matter of international politics. It is also a matter of political economy, of capital, greed and profit. Private corporations actively fuel and profit from the Zionist settler colonial project, the occupation and the ongoing genocide. This is the key message of the latest UN report by Special Rapporteur Francesca Albanese. A powerful capitalistic machine of profit is feeding destruction. Arms manufacturers like Lockheed Martin, Leonardo, and Thales supply the weapons and fuel military escalation. Tech giants such as Google, Amazon, and Meta enable mass surveillance and repression with no ethical restraint. Construction and machinery firms like Caterpillar and Volvo deliver the bulldozers that demolish Palestinian homes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a coordinated system of profit. This is racial colonial capitalism. Genocide continues because it is profitable, but we have a duty. The European Union must suspend
Please come to
the
an end.
EU-Israel Association Agreement now.
Within a couple of years, the new generations are going to ask those of the future, what have you done? What was done when a genocide was taking place in Gaza? And I know what I'd say, Madam von der Leyen, Madam Callas, you were kind of on the periphery. You, although the International Court of Justice issued decisions concerning this, you remained on the side, leaving no mark whatsoever. And the 70,000 people, more than that, that have died in Gaza, they can't get up and point at you, but you and other governments continue to provide arms for this machine of annihilation, of genocide and destruction, that of Netanyahu as well. And we saw what happened with the flotilla, the Freedom Flotilla. We are not going to stop. We're not going to stop until those who are responsible are held accountable at this terrible moment. Thank you.
Ms. Montero is next, and then Mr. Julis after.
Bitte.
Gracias, President.
Thank you, Madam President. Israel is continuing with its extermination plan, and just like the Nazis, it is imposing its final solution on Palestine. On the ruins of Gaza, it wants to build a concentration camp. It was called a ghetto in Warsaw. It was what the Nazis were doing. There are legal implications here. There are treaties on arms trading. We should not be selling arms to those engaging in genocide. We should not have trade relations or investment in Israel. There are legal rulings to that effect. So why are EU countries still buying and selling arms with Israel? Why are we still trading with companies who are supporting the illegal occupation of Palestine and genocide? Now, alongside the US in NATO, the main Netanyahu client launching attacks on Iran. Together, these are the main threats to peace and security in the world. Rearmament is complicity with genocide, ladies and gentlemen. The Spanish rearmament plan includes buying Israeli military equipment. We should comply with international legal rules. But what you're doing is being complicit in genocide, which converts you into criminals.
Wenn ich das jetzt gerade...
If I've understood what you just said, you were accusing people of being criminals. I'm going to have to pass that on to be checked. We have to show respect with each other in the chamber. Mr. Garjoulis is next. Mr. Estrada is after that. Dear members of the European Parliament, I wonder every day, and I would like to put the same question to you, who in the world decided that there are countries that are entitled to have nuclear weapons and the others are not entitled to have it? Iran is being bombed for pursuing that program, but according to Iran, this is an uranium enrichment project for peaceful purposes. According to Israel, Iran is the threat. We're not bombing Russia or China. Are they democratic countries? No. But those countries are entitled to have a nuclear weapon. Who has decided that? if Ukraine didn't give up on its nuclear program,
Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided